Hello, travelers. Boardman21 here, and today we had some new news about a rework coming in the path for Warpath. A nice little overhaul for it. It's going to have some new nodes inside of it. It's going to synergize much better, and overall, it looks like it's going to be buildable in all three masteries. That's right, there won't no longer be just the Void Knight and just the Paladin. We're going to have ways to build it into the Forge Guard as well, just from a few of the hint notes that we've seen. It looks like they also took in a lot of the feedback that's been given by the community, saying that too many points are invested in just trying to reduce the cost. Too many of the nodes have increased cost, making it feel bad again after you just spent all those points trying to, minus down the cost. So they're doing some fixes for that as well. They also say they're going to make it visually more beautiful, but let's just go ahead and get into it, read the forum post, and look at some of the new nodes, and even watch a very small short video on the new Warpath and how it's going to look in 8.3. So let's get into it. Warpath Overhaul. Who doesn't love a good spin to win? Warpath is a long-time fan favorite skill, and we've taken a lot of your feedback to make this skill even better. Patch 8.3 brings major adjustments to the Warpath skill tree, giving players more freedom and exciting ways to play it. One of the most common things we've heard about Warpath is that there aren't enough ways to reduce the channel cost without heavy point investment within the tree, which severely limits interesting ways to build Warpath. Yes, if you're spending 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of your points to reduce the cost, especially if you have to build along a pathway to get that Unchained on the left side, it does take almost half of your skill points just to make the cost feel decent, and then if you take any of the nodes that increase the cost, you have to spend even more to reduce it. So yes, it does limit the way that you can build the build unless you want to actually have it consume your mana and not be able to 100% uptime Warpath. The new Warpath skill tree offers easy access to mana cost reduction early, while still having plenty of transformative nodes without being forced into increasing channel cost as a downside. So it sounds like they may be getting rid of some of those +1 mana cost in the nodes, which would be really cool, because it's a lot of nodes you stay away from them because you're just like, oh, I'm at the perfect amount to not have to regen mana, or to have to stop channeling. Why would I want to take 1 point there if I don't have another point to put into it? So every one of those 1 point nodes actually costs you 2 points. So the node they have here is Reckless Spin, where Warpath costs significantly less mana. Right now in game it costs 4 less mana, but it makes you take 25% increased elemental damage, which can be very deadly, and there's no way to offset that. The new Reckless Spin node will make it cost 6 less mana, which is 2 more less mana that it'll cost, and then on top of this, it'll actually reduce your elemental resist by 30% instead of you actually taking a more damage modifier, which is really cool, because that means you can actually just put more elemental resist on your gear, or as a sentinel, you can get a lot of it through passives, or say Holy Aura if you're a paladin, and be able to build that back, and then you don't have that downside of taking more damage. So the new node looks really, really good. Glad they went that direction with it. Then we have Warpath, some example of the new nodes. In addition to channel cost changes, the new specialization tree has a heavy focus on fire and void elements, as well as a wide variety of options to support other playstyles. We also took the opportunity to improve and add new visual effects. These values, if you see any numbers in here, they're omitted because a lot of it might change. But the first node, we have the Forge Master Stance. While spinning, you summon forged weapons every 5 seconds as if you had hit an enemy with Forged Strike. Some interesting things here. Every 5 seconds, you guaranteed get forged weapons. Now, here's the question. It says, as if you had hit an enemy with Forged Strike. So I'm really curious if Forged Strike is actually proccing, or only the forged weapons are proccing. And if so, is it using the skill tree of Forged Strike, so you have, say, a higher % chance in it, or you have the melee fire damage added to them, the increased duration to them? Really curious exactly how that's going to tie in, and if it uses the tree or not. But this does mean that Forge Guard, Warpath, can definitely be a thing, especially if you can get a lot of forged minions every 5 seconds. That will help not only with single target, but it's also going to help with just killing things that you've left behind. Then we have the Giant Splitter. After spinning for at least 2 seconds, you do a giant slash at the end. This deals more damage, multiplicative with other modifiers, in a larger area for each second you spent spinning, up to a maximum duration. And here you can see the splash damage is per second of spinning. The area, the final area of the hit, is increased per second of spinning, and then of course you'll slash after you're finished warpathing, so you will have to stop channeling for a second. And then maximum duration benefit. Here it says 5 seconds. Again, they said don't omit that, it could change. But it looks like this is a great way when you come out of Warpath to do really good damage or to round all your enemies up. What I think this will synergize well with really good is if you have a Warpath that's meant to pull in enemies. So you build Warpath to pull enemies, you pull a whole group together, and then you end your Warpath and it does a huge slash doing huge damage in a huge area and just wipes them out. And if anyone straggles along or runs, you just start Warpathing for at least 2 seconds again, build it up, and do it again. I really like this node. It's going to be, hopefully it brings the pull aspect back to Warpath. Then we have the Path of Heavens. While spinning, you have increased spell damage. We don't know all the changes coming to the Sentinel, but what's cool about this is this means that you can build into spell damage, just a very basic thing, but that means the Cascading Orbs, Abyssal Orbs, Divine Bolt, Flame Burst, all of those things that you can currently proc, Smite, the Fissures, all of it, you'll be able to do increased damage with them, which is not something you could previously build into, and you normally had to put on like a two-handed, staff or whatever you're using and just get spell damage on gear. But now that you can get it inside the skill tree, it'll even boost the damage a little bit more. And then, this is my coolest one. This is by far my favorite so far that I've seen. The Echo Knight. This is right, for Void Knight fans. While spinning, if you have traveled at least 2 meters recently, as long as you're progressing forward with Warpath, you have a chance each second to create an echo at a recent location that uses Warpath on the spot for 2 seconds. This chance is equal to your chance for skills to echo. I believe the maximum chance for a skill to echo you can get, I think it's 40% chance. So this means that every second there's a 40% chance at maximum for you to have, here's the video, here's the clip, look at that. Look at the Warpath. You have your shadow or your echoes spinning for 2 seconds in a standard spot. It's really, really cool. It's going to help with single target as long as you're moving enough to have them actually proc. But I really like it. It's going to help you with echo clearing if you're not pulling enemies and you're running forward and you have a lot of those range characters that stay behind you or trailing. These would be a good way to clean them up. I like how you can tell it's Void Warpath as well. It's looking like if you take the Void tag, you now have a purple visual. You have a Void visual of Warpath spinning. Really, really like it. Think it looks really good. I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think? You like the new nodes? You like the new visuals? What are you most excited for? Which mastery are you most excited for to try it in patch 8.3? Like I said, let me know below. And as always, stay safe, travelers. That's it for me, and have a good day.